Nomads, and welcome to episode 104. And it's a rather big one here. My name is Brandon. I am your host for this episode. And like any great adventure, you probably shouldn't go alone. And I brought two buddies with me. First up, Eric.
A blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me.
And we also brought Dave.
Don't worry, Mr. Hudson. I'm here for you. That's what I imagine the sign man sounding like.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Oh, please.
I honestly thought you guys were going to be funny and just do actual voice lines from the game, which would be...
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I thought about that.
Wanted to get an actual quote. There is cutscenes in this game, so,
Yeah.
there is quotes.
Yeah. No, we'll get into the voiceovers. But yes, so we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, which is the follow-up hit that just came out a few weeks before this recording to Breath of the Wild. And these are the Legend of Zelda games. So if you follow along with this podcast, you may know how this episode may go.
Or you may not. I might surprise you.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
This is not a Nintendo podcast. This is not a Legend of Zelda podcast. This is a podcast about you never know what we'll like, what don't like, where we'll go. It just is always going to be something fictional, and that's pretty much it. So hold on to your horse or elk or whatever animal that you tamed in this game. But let's get into it. But before we do that, Dave, what other adventures do we have queued up?
Oh, yes. We got a myriad of journeys ahead of us. Next week, we are going back into comic book land. I don't know if we really do many comic book movies here, but we are doing
Done a couple.
The Joker. I haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited to go see that, but that's got some interesting views on it. Then getting into summer blockbuster territory, we're going to get back into our Schwarzenegger verse and get Eric caught up on True Lies.
Which is a Cameron.
Never seen it.
It's a James Cameron movie.
It's one of my Arnold holes.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always want to fill my Arnold holes. You got it.
Don't we all?
I'll fix it. Show me the hole.
No. After that, we're going to go see some Contact, go see some aliens. Extraterrestrial Life.
Yeah. Yep.
90s movie.
90s movie.
Yeah. Baby Matthew McConaughey. And then we are going to the Journey to the West.
Yeah.
Which is, Eric, is this Japanese?
This is Chinese. So Journey to the West is an
Right.
ancient Chinese story, like folklore. And it's a lot of anime, particularly Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, have been based off this story. So it'll be interesting to see that one.
Submitted from a listener, though, specifically.
Yeah, Tejas. Shout out to Tejas. We got one of his recs on the schedule. He's always throwing recommendations our way. So we'd be more than happy to check some of those out. Especially since it's a foreign film. So
absolutely. Always looking for something weird.
Right.
You never know to taste break it,
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll take us through June, though. So we'll get a calendar out there on the socials. But speaking of socials, Eric.
Yes, I will. Take it away.
We pinged the internet.
We
What's
did
going on
indeed.
Throw it over to you.
Over at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter, we asked the question what everyone thought of Tears of the Kingdom so far. Chris Logan says, well, to be totally honest, I would say it's a strong contender for greatest game ever made.
Whoa. Right.
There's a lot of
Clearly, he hasn't played Skyrim, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Well, don't even. It's too early for that. Diabolical says, the beginning and end of video games, the GOAT, no question. Wow. A lot of people...
not the beginning. Probably it's not going to be the end, but it could be considered. It could be considered GOAT status, though.
Pineapple Pizza Mafia says game of the year for sure. The building elements are dope, and Not a Strong Start says dope so far. A lot of dope here.
A lot of dope. Yeah.
The gameplay is awesome, and then our good buddy Jake said can't wait for winter so I have time to try this one. So, Jake, I hope you get time.
Yeah, don't let it get spoiled on you, Jake, because it's hard to like be on any social media and not see random shit about this game because
and it's not even spoilers like
now.
It's not like story spoilers or anything. It's like mechanical spoilers, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't even watch the trailer to this game, to be honest with you. We'll get into all of this, actually.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. So before we get into Act 2, I'll just say, we're going to try our best. We know the game came out. It's a big game.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, we get it. We will not really... We'll try our best not to spoil anything, but I think we can't not talk about certain areas, which are big deals to the game. So I think go play the game before you probably listen to this. Or
we'll give a spoiler warning. We're just gonna start general impressions and then probably pretty quickly get into like
it's the mechanics,
what the game is. Right.
I just want to be careful with that. So yeah, that's your warning. Other than that, saddle up, whistle, fade away, travel, paraglide,
dive down from the sky.
Tons to do. And then when we get back, we'll dig into Tears of the Kingdom. We have returned safely from Act 1 to Act 2, so everybody get comfortable, sit by the fire, cook some food. I don't know if you got some apples or you collected some fish, but now's the time to eat those as we dig into what the heck we've been doing in Hyrule. I know this is like a big game to a lot of people. This is people's Star Wars. This is people's Lord of the Rings. Like, this is a big deal. When these games come out, it means a lot to them. And it seems like the track record's mostly positive. I really don't remember there being a stinker. There might have been some like hiccups in some moments and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like whenever these games come out, Legend of Zelda games, that universal praise.
You know what?
Franchise
I have something to say.
Pretty good, yeah.
Everyone shits on Spirit Tracks. I think that's a good game. I know neither of you have played that game because neither of you had a Nintendo DS, but
handhelds are whole.
Yeah,
line.
The Zelda games on DS, pretty darn good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and you drive a fucking magic train. Like,
wow,
it's cool.
Which makes this one seem a little bit more believable. But like, I mean, I played all the console ones, but like when you hit Breath of the Wild, that's kind of where it like twisted away from the Zelda template,
the traditional,
that they had been set up for.
Okay.
Decades. So
honestly, my history is the first two Zelda games. I played them a lot when I was a kid, and then I played A Link to the Past. That's Super Nintendo. I never beat it.
Oh yeah.
And then I went back to it in college or just after college, and I got somewhere and I got stuck and I stopped playing it, so I never beat it. And I totally missed out on an N64. I was a PC gamer at that point with PlayStation, and I just never played N64 games. So I never played like
Ocarina,
those
Majora's,
big games that everybody. Ocarina of Time, yeah. And they look good from afar.
Yeah. You have Nintendo Switch Online, don't you? You have the power.
Yeah, but you gotta
play
pay extra to get to that.
At least A Link to the Past. You gotta finish A Link to the Past.
Oh, I've started it. on my Switch for sure. Absolutely, yes.
It's not that long. There's like 12 dungeons.
I mean, that game's like 30 hours long itself or whatever.
Finished or beat Link to the Past.
It's fantastic though.
Within the past 5-6 years, maybe. Because I remember, it was when we were still working together. is when I played it for the first time on Nintendo Switch Online. I played through the whole game, and it was fantastic.
And then, like, Wind Waker came out. I had a... What was that? GameCube?
That was
I had a GameCube at the end of that console's life, and then, like, I grabbed one at the end or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'll get this cheap, and I'll get a couple games, and that was one of the games, Wind Waker, and I was like, wow, this is such a cool looking game. And I've played it a couple times since. Never finished it, but really good.
It's good that cell shading that I don't think they really went back to that, but I don't know what they have now is kind of like a.
I like how like there's always like these eras of like art styles. It's not limitations of the console. You know, they purposely have an art style going in, which I think is
I think that makes them last longer too, because like they age well. Because I think I had the remake on Wii U, great console, but that game still looked really good.
All of Nintendo's games, like Mario games, like from the GameCube era,
the first party,
You go back and play like Ocarina of Time though, and that was like the first 3D Zelda game. Like environments are rough, like it looks
I mean they're
muddy and dirty and but like you could.
It's still a great game though. At its core.
Yeah. Damn water temple.
And then I think the last one I played that I got pretty far in, which I think has been made like 3 times over. It's oh god. It was redone. It's really cartoony. It's like you look down on it. Was a GameCube game. I'm sorry, it's a Game Boy game. Then it was on.
Link's Awakening. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it was. It was originally on like a Game Boy, I think.
Game Boy Advance, I think.
Okay, because you can play that on Switch.
It came out for the original Game Boy, re-released on like a color version, Game Boy Color, and then they did the remake for Switch. Yeah. But
it's been made a few times. You can go. It's just cool to see the same game, but like played. I don't know. I like that stuff. I was playing that, and I got into that. I got pretty far into it. I just don't beat these games. Breath of the Wild. I think if you've listened to the show, you know my feelings towards that game. I've changed. I'm a little more optimistic now.
Well, I think you just recently.
I think I like it.
Gave it
I didn't like it for the first few years
shake.
I had it. But here we are, finally getting to the big new Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, some people like it, some people hate it.
Over the winter, I had a good time with it, and I went in knowing that the weapon system's gonna do what it's gonna do. And once you,
we're gonna swallow that one down, choke that one down, Brandon. That's good.
Yeah. So, but that's me. I don't know what you guys with your relationship with these Zelda games.
I mean, it's funny because The Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite video game franchises, but I've only actually finished a handful of Zelda games, like Link to the Past. Like I said, I'm trying to think of all the ones I've actually beaten. A Link Between Worlds, which was the 3DS one, which is an amazing game.
I heard that was good.
Spirit Tracks, another DS one. I think I finished Phantom Hourglass, which is another DS one. I've played a lot of Ocarina of Time, but I mean, I've said on the show before, I've never actually beaten it. I've never actually finished it. And Breath of the Wild. Like, I've played a large majority of them. There was some that I missed. Like, I never had a Wii, so I didn't play Twilight Princess.
You never had a Wii?
I never had a Wii. Nope.
Huh.
So I never Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Those
one of the few.
Those were foregone to me.
It looked so good when it came out. I didn't have a Wii either. I was like,
people just said it was just more Zelda. Really, that's like there's like not doing anything crazy. The Wii ones were fun, kind of, because you could.
You know what's the
thing? I mean, it was alright.
You know what's a fun fact I learned about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? Those two games are still using the Skyward Sword engine, the same engine that they used for Skyward Sword.
I 1,000% believe it. I've been wondering, like, what engine are they using in 2023?
I'm just shocked.
Something old that
I'm shocked that they can
hardware.
even. It's impossible to me that they could even make Breath
Eric,
of the Wild, let alone Tears of the Kingdom.
When did that engine come out?
Like 2011 or something.
Okay, when did the Source engine come out?
A long time ago.
Right,
a long ass time ago.
Some of these engines are just so.
I mean, sure, of course they upgraded the engine, but like
2004.
Oh, I know.
Nintendo's been underpowered for years and
They don't
years.
give
like
a
their
fuck
engines.
about that. Yeah.
It's just insane that they even were able to cobble this game together, and it works and it runs on a mobile device essentially.
Right.
Like
right.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. It is interesting, but that's Nintendo. Like that's just how they do it. I mean, in the end, everybody's happy with it. So,
Brandon, did you beat Breath of the Wild? You didn't get all the way through, right?
fuck no.
You didn't finish it yet? How far did you get?
I don't know.
How many divine beasts did you go through?
Just one. I looked at them. I only did the one, just experience it. The last thing I did was like hanging out with the water people, and you're a super cheesy old girlfriend. Oh, Link, don't forget about me. I was like, she's a snooze. No wonder I don't like talk about.
Mifa's Grace.
Yeah, she was lame. I did that, and then I don't know. I did like the divine beast. It's like a giant elephant, which I totally had to use YouTube. I tried my best, but I was like, man, I can't figure this out. I don't know. I just really just walked around, explored that game, and I mean, spoiler. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a great game, and I think it is everything that I think Breath of the Wild should have been. I don't see. I think people really like that Breath of the Wild game, but I just.
Well, it's a Breath of the Wild 1.5. This is an iteration of the next one, but
I think this has so much more going on though.
Oh yeah,
everything about this game
absolutely.
Is like delightful. I thought the other one was like a slog to play through, and maybe I just don't get it. But this game, Tears of the Kingdom, I think is like night and day better.
For me, Breath of the Wild, again, I mean, it's one of my, it's up there easily as one of my favorite games of all time.
Right.
And I finished it, and I went back recently to get into the mood for Tears of the Kingdom. I finished the Champions Ballad DLC, finally got that motorcycle, was tooling around Hyrule on that for a little bit. But like, yeah, the simplicity of Breath of the Wild is what drew me in. Like the world is so vast. Like you can go anywhere and do anything. You know, you see something in the distance, you go to it. You can do most.
The shrines were really good in Breath of the Wild, and that's what I didn't pay attention to enough. I think my first few runs, I just tried to fight everything, but I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna do shrines. Yeah, I'm like, it's way more fun.
Right. Yeah, and you can't really play the game like that. You know, and it makes more sense to fight things in Tears of the Kingdom than it did in Breath of the Wild, because you actually get something out of it and you can utilize the stuff that you get from it.
Kinda.
You know,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird because like the powers, like you can see the evolution of them from the first one to the next one. Like there's so much that is the same that it's kind of like we talk about the stuff that's different. Like the UI is pretty much spot on. Like the graphics,
it's
pretty
better,
much spot on. Like they do have a couple of different wheels, but even like the interaction wheels and fusing things to your weapons and stuff is still kind of clunky.
What?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
You couldn't. I need a radial wheel. I press up to look at my items, and that list is like 80 things long. Like you need. Need a better wheel. You need a better way to navigate.
Sure, crap. But not the powers. The powers I think are very. The powers smooth.
are. I mean, you take the magnet
from shit is so
the
easy.
magnet from Breath of the Wild is basically Ultra Hand on everything, and then they just
which is such a smart evolution of that.
But you can see like where all the because all the trick videos from Breath of the Wild, you see people like abusing the system and making it do all this like weird fucking crazy things where you launch yourself across the fucking map or whatever. They're like, all right, we'll just give you the fucking tools to actually do it, and then you guys can just fucking knock yourselves out. And
the developers 100% leaned into all that stuff like purposefully. Yeah. You know, like they wanted to give people the tools to just play around in this world. It really is just like a sandbox.
The fusing, the fusing is like, I don't know. That's fixing Brandon's weapon durability issue from the first game. So everybody that was complaining, bitching about that, like, all right, well, we'll give you. It doesn't fix it completely, but it makes it easier to deal with.
I don't think it needed to be fixed in the first place. But
it did. It's a massive buzzkill.
Even
this game,
I don't agree with that,
annoying, but
we don't have to get into that. But yeah, I think Well, I think that as far as the weapon durability goes, from my point of view, if the weapons never broke, you find one, and then you would have no reason to go out and search and explore the world. Because what are you going to find? What do you like? If you're not going to find a weapon out there, what are you going to find?
Yeah.
You know, maybe some new armor, maybe some, I don't know.
And now
some weird treasure that you don't know what to do with.
Yeah, but you know what though? I would say Tears of the Kingdom it just feels like they put more weapons out, more variety out for me to find. So therefore, I don't feel bad plowing through.
The variety comes from the fuse ability, though. Yeah. Well, you can take a stick. You can take a stick and fucking fuse anything you want to it, and then it becomes a completely different thing.
All right, yeah.
Which does help.
This is the real spoiler warning here. Like we're gonna get into probably the powers here because I think we should go through this stuff.
Yeah.
This is the big thing. So if you want to go in fresh, stop listening now. Go play it. Come back. Because let's get into, I think, the big draw of this game. I think is the puzzle mechanics. I've always like when I was playing Breath of the Wild this last time. I was doing the shrines. I was like, I can't wait to go do the next shrine and do the next shrine. And because I was doing like the tower beacons, I was trying to do that. And like, this isn't fun. And I don't like fighting in this game. And when I started doing the puzzles, I was like, oh my God, I've been looking at Zelda wrong, or Breath of the Wild wrong. It's like a open world puzzle light RPG. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking it's just like an RPG, but I'm like, it's not really an RPG because it's like very specific character. And like the world's open, but like that's it. But like once I understood the power of the puzzles, and then this game, I think it's just with these new mechanics, I feel like the puzzles are everywhere now. Like the whole game, just like this massive sky, ground, and
that's how the first one was, but maybe you just weren't looking for it or interacting with it.
Well, I think what Brandon's saying is like, the puzzles from being instead of just being in the shrines, now they're in the. Now you just have like random pit stops of
that was the
like
same
building
thing
materials.
In Breath of the Wild.
Oh, were they? Oh, maybe I was just dumb. I just couldn't put anything together. But like,
they're different.
I'm looking at like
in this game.
I want to see if I can climb. Like I was in this cave, breaking all these. I took a stick, put a rock on. Or I'm sorry, claymore. Put a boulder on it, breaking through all these rocks, right? And I'm going through this cave and shit. And then I see there's a tower that I want to get to be shot out in the sky and all that shit and survey the land. Mm-hmm. The door was locked from the inside and you couldn't get in. This rooster guy like, go get some mushrooms. Like, I ain't doing that.
Oh, that's where I'm stuck.
You can there's
the mushrooms exposure. He's misleading you.
I was looking for the fucking cave.
There's no mushrooms.
Find the goddamn cave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even bother. So if you go underneath and go kill everything in there and loot it, if you keep breaking, you'll eventually expose a rock in the ceiling of the cave, and you can teleport. Do the thing where you swim through,
Ascend is like a game changer.
Ascend, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like that's where the game is like making me think about like, oh my God, like the whole thing. I can do anything with these powers. Like I can create anything. Where I didn't get that sense in Breath of the Wild, but this is like. Give me like Portal vibes.
They give you so much more freedom.
I feel so intelligent when I figure out one of these puzzles.
I feel like such a dumbass because I jumped down a well and I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of here? There's no ladders. I'm doing like my third lap around the room and I'm like, wait a minute, I got fucking ascend. I just teleport out of this goddamn thing and I forget that I have some of these powers because it takes. Like Breath of the Wild's here, and then it takes the world and kind of stretches it out in both ways to kind of like people ask, like, is it the same map? And it is kind of the fucking same map. There's some stuff that's different, but
like, it's not though. Like I'm traveling around Hyrule, and it's been so long since I've been in these areas. I don't recognize where I've been exploring, or it's villages. It might as well be a completely It might as well be a new map.
I recognize some areas, and I think it's really cool.
Everywhere you go.
Changed.
And they do, changes. I don't know if you guys went to Kakariko Village at all, but you have
I didn't get to it yet.
Those huge rings have fallen down from the sky, and you have to go and explore each one of them and find the stone tablets, and they kind of give you clues to what's going to happen later in the story, these allusions to these stones and everything. But I don't know. It's cool how they change the world, even though it Hyrule itself is the same, but they change it in interesting ways.
How do we feel about this game? Like,
I mean,
what do you guys like it? Like the other one better? Like how?
I think, I mean, just by you can hear the enthusiasm in my voice, but it's all I want to play right now. Like, I think they took Breath of the Wild and made it better in every single possible way that they could think of. You know,
I agree.
I mean,
I think
Breath of the Wild was so many people's games of the year. Like, it'd be kind of dumb of them, like, because they had all the puzzle pieces and they just like shuffled it up and remade it. Like, I wrote down that if like Breath of the Wild was like chess, and then you take that same game and it's like, have you ever seen Star Trek where they have like that crazy fucking 3D chess where it's like 3 different levels?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I only know it from like Big Bang Theory.
No, yeah. They took regular
3D chess
and they turned it into fucking 3D chess, where they took that same world and they just take the same game engine and just kind of like gave you new shit to play with and like reshuffled the deck and said, here, fucking go knock yourselves out.
You know how like I absolutely loved exploring the world in Breath of the Wild. I think it's one of the best. I think, first of all, this game is like the best designed open world in any video game.
It does get boring.
Like, for me,
like,
anyways.
It does get.
Listen,
like, empty.
Let me make my point. Don't cut me off. Let me say my point here.
I'm just reacting.
So you look out on the landscape. You can any direction you look. There's so many things to do. There's shrines.
The wonder is great.
There's towers. There's little areas that you can go explore. They had that same thing in Breath of the Wild, right? You look out on the horizon. Yeah. But now they fucking, like we said, they give you the sky. You look up. There's something to do up there. You look down, underground. There's something to do.
3D chess, right?
Like, it's insane the amount of options you have. And I normally in like an open world game, I sort of feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that I have to do. But for some reason,
in this game,
I don't feel overwhelmed in this game.
I definitely do.
I let the wind take me where it wants to go. Like, I see a shrine over there. All right, I'm going to that shrine. If something happens to distract me along the way, okay, I'll just go with it.
I'm doing the same. Yeah.
I'm not like, okay, I'm going to go to the, like, I have barely interacted with any of the main missions, missions up to this point. I'm just kind of, haven't really left that central area that they drop you down in.
I was gonna say that.
I think I've unlocked like 4 towers around there so far.
Towers and shrines, bro.
Yeah,
that's all I've been doing. Towers, shrines, Sky Islands, and then depths. Like, I've been like just kind of going up and down.
One thing,
exploring different things.
I don't remember if this was the same in Breath of the Wild, because I don't know, it might have been stoned back then, but like, did they unlock game mechanics via shrines in Breath of the Wild? Because that's one thing that I noticed, that like,
not game mechanics necessarily, but like they showed you how to do certain things.
So this one, like, there's specific
stuff kind of
the
same as this.
You can't do until you go to a certain shrine. Like, you could
not necessarily.
You can't do, Link couldn't do like the backflip, and he couldn't do some other stuff until you found the shrine.
No, you can. They just don't teach you how to do it.
I was trying it multiple times until I found that shrine. Then it let me do it, and then the shield surfing and all that kind of stuff.
Whatever. There's one.
You can definitely do it, because I especially like the shield surfing, because if you're going into this game, you know the mechanics of Breath of the Wild, unless you're talking about when you're in that like tutorial area.
That might have been
definitely when you get down to Hyrule, you can do everything that you can normally do.
That's why I would just say, if you're playing it, staying with the shrines and the towers is actually good, because I think like those beginning shrines actually teach you a lot of the core mechanics that you need to get out.
Especially with the Zonai devices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they introduce you to how to use those, and, you know, kind of, because like they do it so smart the way that they do it. Because the immediate area that you land, in your immediate vicinity, you can see like 5 different shrines around you, you know, right when you get to Hyrule. So you take your little periscope out and you pin them, you mark them on your little map, and then you go to each one of those shrines, and it teaches you a different mechanic in each one of those, and it introduces you to the Zonai devices and how you're supposed to use them. And then outside of those shrines, they'll plant like the same Zonai devices that you just learned how to use inside the shrine and make you do a little puzzle outside the shrine. Like there was one where I learned to use like that Zonai spring device. I don't know if you guys have encountered that one yet.
Oh, I have all of them.
But there was outside that shrine, there was like a chest inside of, like this tower. You couldn't climb over it. You couldn't get into it.
I climbed into it.
But you could use... You just climbed into it?
I climbed into it and then I bounced out.
So what I did, which I think is maybe what they meant to do, is take Ultra Hand. They put a spring in there, and I put the chest on the spring, and then it bounced the chest out of the hole.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
See, I did it boring. Yours is way cooler.
But that's the cool thing about this game is that you can solve these puzzles in like so many different ways. You might do it one way. I might do it another way. Like and it works. It works both ways.
Stupid shit that I build to get one Korok dude from the next. Like, I have fucked up so many times. I put fans on this thing and it starts spinning around in circles, and the dude just smashes into a wall. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll build another machine and try to figure that out. But the physics,
I've done the same thing.
In this game is
sometimes I'm using YouTube. If I can't wrap my head around it, I'll go to YouTube and I'll say, okay, that's how they did it. And like one of them, there's a Sky Island. I'm up there, and it's like I can't even get into the shrine until I go over to the other island, Sky Island, and bring it back. Or it's like beaming a green laser at it, and I had to bring it over.
Yeah, I just did that one. Yep.
I did that last night, and I'm like, there's a big kind of U-shaped kind of thing that it's like a bridge.
Yeah.
So I figured that out on my own, and I'm like, man, how do I I don't know. I gotta I want to get inside this thing and see what's in here. This is different. And then I had to put together a shrine before. So I go on YouTube. I watch the guy's video. I'm like, what? I'm not doing that. So he I don't know. He had all these hearts, and he had these characters that were running around him. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, guy, but it's crazy. You get these pets or something.
Stay off of YouTube. God
stop spoiling shit.
But anyway, so he was doing this. I'm like, that's way too hard. So I'm gonna do this, and what I ended up doing was the recall ability, and all I did is just I positioned it to here, so I knew I could run across, grab it, and then time it so that it would spin around so I can get across of it. So just using that recall ability to me is just all to say is that
you thought way too hard about that one. I did it. Maybe I did it in a dumb, simple way. For that one, all I did was I went around the left side. I rotated it so I could get around the left side.
Yeah.
Got the gem, put it on the rotating platform, then went all the way back around, and then just spun it. And then I walked on the platform, grabbed it, and put it on the shrine.
Oh, okay. I went to the left island, and I don't know. All I had to do was time it, though. Yeah, but all to say, though, is just that, sometimes you're gonna get you're not gonna be able to figure it out. You're gonna go on YouTube, and even those people are doing things that you probably wouldn't do anyway. So it's just completely to say differently. That just figure it out. There's I feel like there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat in this game, and that's what's cool. Yeah. Sometimes I'm I've beat one shrine. It's there's 3 layers, and I was able to beat the second layer with the first layer because I concocted this machine that let me just keep going up, and I'm I don't even have to do that part, and I'm already at the top layer, and I built something new. But I did so well with my mechanics with what I solved. I was like, oh, I didn't even have to do half the puzzle because
you can. I
did it.
The way that they intend you to do some shrines, you can completely skip over some of that stuff. I know in one point, in one of the shrines I did yesterday, they introduced the big Zonai wheels, and I'm pretty sure they wanted me to build some sort of platform that would push the ball up the ramp or whatever. But all I did was carry it with Ultra Hand, climb up the ladder, and then hit recall on it, and brought it up to me.
That's what I'm saying. Recall is so cool.
That is crazy.
Because what I like about it is you can put yourself on the damn thing and then turn on recall, and it'll lift you up.
But the fact that it's tracking all the objects in the world too, that's just every movement
from
of
a development
object,
perspective. That's insane to me.
It is baffling.
I can't even fathom that. Yeah. Like
yeah. Racing games do that, right? Everything's being recorded so you could go back.
Yeah.
But this is on the fucking Nintendo Switch, which was underpowered when it came out. They built 3 open worlds, or like an open world, a sky area, and then another open world underneath it.
Yeah.
Seamless fucking transition between
above how they were able to pull it off?
Like,
I'll tell you why. Because they spent no money on voice actors and scripts. They took all those resources allocated to development and say, you know what?
Listen,
I have this idea.
I'd rather have that.
They never do.
I'd rather have that.
Oh, I'm with
100% than voice acting.
As much as it drives me crazy that like no one talks, but like when they do talk, it's fucking the worst acting I've ever heard. I'm like, you know what?
You should switch it over to the Jap. I heard that the Japanese is actually better.
I'm sure it is.
I probably should. Oh, it's.
I mean, everyone, even from Breath of the Wild, everyone was hating on like Zelda's voice, and like the way
all of them sound horrible, and they
It's just the way that
it sounds cheesy. It's whatever.
That's not fair at all. You know I can handle it. Checking out that huge cloud wouldn't be hard. I could even do it alone. If we don't do anything, the village... Huh? Huh? Is that you? It is you! Link!
So can I bring up the one thing that I don't know? Or maybe it's not. Eric, you probably don't give a shit. But my wife was walking by and she's like looking at me play this game. She's like, "What is this? Like, how old is this game? That does not look good." And I'm like, "This game just came out 2 weeks ago." She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." People are calling this like possibly one of the greatest games ever made. She's like,
"Don't
why
judge
is
a book
it
by its
looking
cover?"
And I'm like, I think it's the art direction. But like I personally think they took a step back from Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild was very simple. This is like the colors.
Dude,
are just
think about how
they're
much
just
shit
they're
they're
very
doing
muted
in this game.
Like no, I'm even
Eric,
like
I get it. I
turn
get
up
it.
the
I get it.
saturation.
I'm just saying
on
it's
everything.
not attractive.
I'm not saying
it's
I'm not
not
saying
colorful.
it is, but it doesn't detract from my experience.
I was walking through a field as Link.
No, I can still play old games. It looks like an old game.
I felt like I was playing
It looks like an
Valheim
old game.
when I was playing it. Like it's got that.
Valheim looked better than this.
Probably.
about that.
Valheim's smoother. Valheim is a better refresh rate, frame rate for sure. Because this one, I guess it chugs on it.
I mean, it definitely
Newer
noticeable when you do the ultra hand. Like as soon as you hit the ultra hand, it gives you a little chug, and then it clears up. But I agree. I mean, yeah, it's old hardware. It's underpowered hardware when it came out. So just the fact that they could pull off this game on this hardware is just insane.
Just imagine if they had like a good draw distance on things. You didn't have to use that dumb periscope to zoom in on everything when you could actually like see it in the distance. Like
if it was on Unreal Engine, Unreal 5
that would be awesome.
On this, but like the same art direction, like still make it like this cartoony almost look. Like I'd be fine with it, man. Could you imagine? It would look. Then I would say it is one of the greatest single player games ever made, and I will say single player because I think single player and multiplayer are different.
Well, the puzzles in it, like I don't know, Nintendo and Zelda games in general are just like puzzle boxes. Like even the old games that followed the same dungeon mentality, like those were just puzzles built around the new object that you're getting to unlock in that area. Now they just give you the powers and they let you just go run wild. Like
it's crazy because like this game, I can't not play this game and think of Ubisoft's
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix
something.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising and Assassin's Creed Odyssey's DLC, the Atlantis DLC. It's like identical. It's like these floating islands with waterfalls, like green and stone and like pillars here, and it's like the art direction is crazy. Like I'm not knocking this game. It's a cool looking game. Yes, it's a marvel what it did with this engine, but like I'm like it looks like other games though. I don't know that like it throws me off a little bit because I don't know. I don't know. I expected maybe more variety. I don't know. I gotta be careful what I'm saying because like what they're pulling off is incredible. But
also, you have to think
it.
We've barely scratched the surface of this game.
True.
Yes.
True. But like, how do you not go down into the underworld and not think of fucking, what was it, Blackrock in Skyrim, right? When you discover, holy shit, there's a massive cave in Skyrim. There's a massive
but it's not a full other open world.
No, I didn't think of that. I was thinking Stranger Things. As soon as I got down there, I'm like, this is I'm in the underworld. Or what do they call it?
Map.
Upside down. Like you're in the upside down when you're down there.
I mean, Zelda has done this before with like the Dark World in Link to the Past. It's like the same concept, but they just blew it out into like a copy of the open world map. Like,
right.
That part is intimidating to me. I've explored the depths a little bit.
Oh,
the depths, because there's so much down there. It's fucking pitch black. I went around. I was tooling around there for a while, just trying to get some of those seeds to light up the world.
Yeah, that's what I was doing
down there a bit. But like,
did you know that there's shrines above those?
Yes, that's
the shrine.
It maps to the.
I just figured that out.
Hyrule.
Yep. Wow.
You know another cool thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have discovered these, but in some of the Sky Islands, they give you treasure maps to
I got
treasures down in the depths.
I just noticed that when I first went to the depths today. I was like looking down and it goes, by the way, you have a map that revealed an area. And I'm like, oh, no shit. Huh, I want to go over there. Yeah. It's so cool because like you could discover something in the sky to send you to the depths. So it's
there's a reason to go down there. It gives you a reason to go down there and explore.
Some of the first outfits, I think I got somebody gave me map markers for like outfits or whatever, and I went hunting for those for a little while. There are a couple.
Yeah, I got those. I don't want
to spoil the outfits or whatever, but there are a couple that I've had spoiled on me that look pretty friggin' sweet. That seems like that'd be
I will
handy.
say in the opening, there's actually, I think it's a pretty crucial pieces of equipment in the what's the opening area called?
Oh, the Great Sky. Is it the Great Sky Island or whatever?
All right,
something like that.
You can get some pants that help you with cold weather.
Oh,
so look around for them.
Yeah, that's right after like one of the shrines. They're right outside of the.
Yeah, but it's like off the. You have to go kind of like move something to climb up something, but yeah, it's very rewarding because I did not like that. I mean, I get it. It's kind of like more realistic that way, but like when you don't have them, it's a total buzzkill. It's like, oh, there's a shrine right there, and I'm like,
I'll tell you what you have to do. Take a stick, fuse a ruby to it. You have a torch, and now you're warm.
I know, but I want to use a ruby for like a boss fight or something like that.
Yeah. So each of the gems are elements if you fuse them. So a ruby is fire, sapphire is ice, opal is lightning. So if you fuse those to a weapon, you'll get like a lightning rod.
No, I save my rubies. I sell those fuckers. Those are like 110.
Yeah, sell them too.
Rupees a piece.
You can stick it to your shield, and then it'll warm you up. I think if you put it. I think you can put it on things, and I think you can put it on a shield because there's like a heat element to it.
Dude, some of the Zonai devices when you fuse them are so fucking cool. I don't know if you guys have gotten the like the beam emitter Zonai device.
No.
But
I have it, but I haven't used it.
You can fuse that, and it's basically like a lightsaber. I mean, it doesn't really look like one. It's a fucking horse head that shoots out a beam, but it basically works like one. There's cannon. You can attach a cannon to your shield.
I have a cannon.
And fucking, yeah.
Oh, I know that you can take a rocket and you can fuse a rocket to a shield because I pulled my shield out and it just shoots you.
It gives you a boost up, yeah.
I was like, oh,
rockets are probably the coolest thing so far. Like
they are really cool.
Like just watching them just zing off into the distance or whatever. Like I don't have any of those yet from the Zonai Gachapon machine yet.
Yeah, and each machine they give you different devices too.
Do they?
I think it tells you on the map like which devices are possible to come from this machine. So yeah, I've discovered a couple of those around the world.
I need to find some more machines.
A decent variety, yeah. Like I found a couple. Like there's a couple in the sky. You know, a couple of the islands with the shrines also had those like Zonai device machines. But yeah, and there's a lot to this game.
Are you guys playing with? Do you guys mess with the Pro UI at all when you play?
I had the Pro UI on for Breath of the Wild. I just kept the default for Tears of the Kingdom. For just for I don't know why.
Yeah, if I'm trying to find my way to something, it just removes pretty much like everything. Well, most things. I think if you're in combat, stuff might come up, but otherwise, because it
pretty much just has your hearts in the corner, removes the mini map, removes like the button prompts,
the sneaking thing, and the compass, and the other thing that you don't need. There's a ton of garbage you don't need on the UI that I recommend going.
I've never thought about turning it off. I feel like
go with the Pro, especially if you're getting ripped or whatever and playing on a big screen, sitting nice and close. It helps you gets you in there because
gets you immersed.
It's tough to figure out what direction you're facing though. But if you're just wandering around, fucking around, then go Pro.
You can't wear headphones while playing on your TV.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean,
gotta have it plugged into the Switch.
If you use like a third-party controller or whatever, but
I use the Nintendo Switch, the Pro.
You guys both use Pros?
Controller.
What do you use, Eric?
Yeah, you can't plug headphones into it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a headphone jack.
I'm just used to that with my Xbox. I can plug headphones and I can be like.
I go 50-50. Sometimes I'll play in here on the big TV if I don't feel like it, I'll lay in bed with some headphones on and just play.
No way. Really? I feel
I love
like
playing
if I play
handheld.
this game, I feel like this sounds bad because I do enjoy this game. I think it's a good game, but I fall asleep.
I have a couple
just
times.
It's a the music, yeah. It's peaceful. You're looking out at a landscape. You're just
It's just the sound of metal clanking as you run or gallop on a horse or something. It's just like
it's pretty
sound design.
It can be calming.
It makes me sleep.
Like, it's
I've tried playing in Switch mode. I'm just like, what? I can't. It's like reading a book in bed, dude.
Yeah,
I have to play.
I can see that.
TV.
Yeah,
TV's good though. I mean, you got to play on something big too because I've had problems like seeing on such a small screen.
Well, man, your neck gets like all like stiff if you.
But
realize you've been staring at it for like half an hour because that's how long it takes to go to like a shrine.
These last couple of days when the wife's been back home, I've been sneaking off to the back room with the Switch and just no lights on, complete darkness, and just me and
like a hobbit in the corner, fucking
me and my precious sitting in the corner with the screen glowing on my face. It is pretty nice in there.
It's good.
Pretty nice when you're like in a nice dark room with just you and the game and. The sound design is good. Like the music that comes up when you enter certain areas.
Yeah, because then you can put your headphones into
it. I don't know. That's a good idea though, but I should. But no, I've been playing on the Wii-Con controllers that snap into like the holster thing, and that is just the most uncomfortable thing to play with.
You've been playing with the Joy-Cons with the Bulldog controller?
Is that what it is? A Bulldog controller?
Yeah, because when you attach them with the little holder.
I went to GameStop. They were sold out.
Oh, damn. I feel bad that you've been playing with the fucking little Joy-Cons.
Like feel like Shrek playing with like a little toy.
Dude, Pro Controller is great.
It's legit. It has I like the vibrations in it. It's really responsive like when you're doing like the tracking and stuff like that.
And like the buttons
I
feel
don't use
good.
Silly motion
like
controls.
it feels like a 3D it feels like an Xbox controller. It really does.
And like the buttons are a little oversized, which I kind of like, like there's more surface area to the buttons and like the screenshot. Like I'm constantly taking screenshots and videos, especially.
I was gonna try and wire up the. I got a Elite 2 controller that I have lying around, but you need like a $20 Bluetooth dongle for the Switch, and you can just use your.
So just spend an extra $30 and get yourself.
Dude, get a Pro
controller.
$70.
They're
$70.
And
Dude,
Wii-Cons are $80.
I got mine on sale.
It's the same with the Xbox and PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I know, but it's a.
Yeah.
It's Switch. I don't know. Nintendo usually does
it's a what?
The controller I think
if you're gonna,
but I will.
I know
I will, especially if it's on the big screen. But.
If you have it, you will definitely use it.
So, I mean, we've been talking a little bit. We're like 40 minutes into this conversation. Do you guys, I guess, like any tips or like any like I enjoy like this kind of non-spoilery tips. If you have anything, because I do have a couple ones that I don't know. I mean,
yeah, fire 'em away.
I mean, like the one thing that I didn't really realize until it was kind of like a dawned on me. But when the bricks fall out of the sky, you just hop on them and then rewind them back up to the sky.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, that was the first thing I did when I had the recall ability. I walked out. I'm like,
that's
you know
that's how I get up to the
because those things are constantly falling.
Yeah,
the Pro UI I thought was a nice touch for more immersion into the game because everything kind of has it. Everything has an on-screen thing. If you walk, you don't need the heat thermometer thing. If you walk into a cold place, you see Link start shivering, and you can see his breath. If you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's nice. You guys got anything?
Fun thing to do is just take a long stick or spear, fuse an explosive barrel onto the end, and then just throw it into a group of moblins. Another really good fusion. So you can only get these in the depths, I think, but it's the Muddlebud flowers.
Okay. I've got some of those. I haven't really messed with them.
Are those ones that smell or something like that? They're really bitter.
Attach them to an arrow and shoot it at like a group of moblins. They'll all start attacking each other.
Yes. Okay.
It's really useful if you're trying to take out like a goblin or a bokoblin camp. So shoot it at like one of the big, either the moblins or like one of those big fat boss bokoblins, and they'll just take out the smaller guys. And then the puff shrooms are good too, because you attach it to an arrow, shoot it, creates like a cloud of smoke, and so you can just go in there and start wailing on all the bokoblins. They can't see you, they can't hit you. You can transform, the little choo-choos that attack you, the little blue blob guys.
Yes.
If you pick up their choo-choo jellies,
you
can well, you don't even have to pick them up. If they're on the ground, you can basically take any elemental thing, like say you have a fire rod, you shoot the fire at the choo-choo jellies, it turns into fire choo-choo jelly now. And then you can attach those to your arrows, and they're fire arrows.
Yeah, I always use the other, I forget what they're, the fire berries or whatever.
Oh yeah, those.
Those.
Yep.
The bomb ones, that's like my go-to for dealing
sure.
with a group of people.
Yeah,
bomb arrows. I fuck people up. That kind of, like, that helps, like, the emergent gameplay kind of, like, shake out of things. Just, like, the random dumb stuff you can do. Or, like, after I get done slaughtering a camp, I just, like, walk around looking at the ground, and I look at my weapons, and I'm like, all right, what's about to break? What can I add here? What can I tweak here?
Yeah. That's level 12, but it is flashing red. That's level 8, but I could fuse a rock too. Yeah. That's basically what my process is.
I like that. That is way better.
I think, Eric, again, these are like the little things that I like. I like that because you guys know I don't like crafting, but like this is so light on crafting. It's like arrow. Okay, I can do that to it.
Attach this to this.
I don't have to manage like different fucking arrow types. I love that.
Exactly. That's so smart because you just sort by. I mean, Dave's right when he says like there is a ton of items to sort through when you're looking for something to fuse to like your arrow or whatever. But like you can sort by your most used items, pop up the little menu. Get a bomb right away.
You can drop things easier too. Like I really think that there's quality of life things all over the UI. Like Dave's saying that the UI is similar, but I think going back from the old one to the new one, like I just think everything's streamlined, dude. Honestly, like I can navigate my inventory with just one layer instead of like on Breath of the Wild. There's like 2 layers. Like if you go to inventory, then it's like food. Like everything's just like one panel, and I can just quickly get in and get out.
Like the world, like the Link running around the world UI is exactly the same. Like some of the pause menu stuff is a little different, but I don't know. I wish I had some radial menus or something like that for the items. If we could swap between them.
I just don't know how they would do that since there's so many items that you can fuse to like your arrows.
I mean,
like,
it's all
pretty much
like,
everything.
Hold on a second, Dave.
You can
the
use.
Powers in Breath of the Wild, you had to push up on your directional pad and then cycle through them. Now it's
or radio wheel. Yeah,
it is a radio
L bump at left bumper. So I think
that's fine. I was talking more items.
It's just your weapons.
Items infusing and stuff like that. Having to drop, like if I have my sword out, I should just be able to press up and just fuse it right to my sword rather than throw it on the ground and then turn on the fusibility.
It's really doing a lot though.
Yeah. But then do you want it fused to your sword or your shield? So it gets like...
It does, yeah.
I can see why they did that.
I mean, there's a lot of nuance to it.
There's a lot of mechanics in this game. Like, I played so much of Breath of the Wild before this game to get ready for it that, like, some of the controls are different. So I'm constantly hitting, like, the wrong button sometimes, you know, especially to bring up the menu for the powers or to, like, you know, switch to do the fusing stuff. I'm like... So
I'm always hitting
confuses
RB
me a little bit.
I don't know why, but I'm always like getting ready to check my weapon.
Yes,
when I want to do my
too.
power, I'm like, fuck, powers are LV.
Yes, I do the same
I'm allowed to
exact thing.
switch, like jump in my run or whatever, but I'm not allowed to switch anything else.
Did you guys switch your jump and run?
I did. I need to run with Y and jump with A.
Okay. I did, but then my kid didn't, and I was helping him, and it was confusing my brain to have one way and one the other, so I switched mine back, but... It's weird when you press A to run and then you press A to get on your horse, but then you press B to run on your horse, and I always end up jumping off my horse when I mean to run.
Yeah,
like
the controls can be clunky. Like it's just doing so much. It's really doing so much.
Yeah, it's like how could they fit all this on a fucking controller? You know, it's a lot.
Going back to
stuff.
tips, though, I do have them because I already kind of talked about this where I was telling Dave how to get into that tower. But if you see a cave, I think they're pretty rewarding, and especially if it's one that's like blocked off with like rocks. What I've learned is like if you're low on weapons, right? They always give you something. There's always a weapon around and a rock to fuse it to break through that cave. Once you go in there, you will find claymores and like all these different kind of soldier like weaponry like on the ground in those rocks. So just break them away. Go ahead. Like I know when you use them, you're destroying the weapon that you currently have, but you should, after clearing that out, you should get enough weapons on the ground that you could replenish, and they give you boulders that you can fuse to those swords, those claymores or whatever, and they'll even be even stronger and probably take out anything that's in that cave. So I just see that as a good resource.
I always have a rock hammer. I always have a rock hammer on me in case I need to break some rocks.
A good thick stick with a rock. I don't like just any regular stick with a rock. It's got to be a thick stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can use arrows to break through the...
You can use bomb arrows.
That's what I usually do.
But I don't want to waste... I don't want to waste the bombs. They're pretty rare.
Those are not...
My precious.
I know there's a lot of bombs and like... They're more in the depths because they grow in caves on the surface, but then in the depths, they're definitely more plentiful with the bombs. But yeah... Definitely always have a rock hammer with you. You're breaking a lot more rocks in this game for some reason than in Breath of the Wild.
More arrows.
So satisfying though.
Yeah, I'm shooting tons of arrows. That's my main go-to weapon, you know.
Down in the depths, like I go through arrows because I'm attaching the bulb flowers to them, shooting them, and using them as light sources to track as I'm going rather than throwing them down. But then I'm out of arrows in 10 minutes. It's driving me nuts.
I found some kind of fish in a cave that were glowing blue, so I collected them, and then it said that if you cook these, you can make a recipe that will make you glow. Mm-hmm. I haven't done it yet, but like, is that saying that if I eat that,
it's another status
through the dark?
Glow potions now, for the depths essentially, so you can make yourself glow. I actually found some armor.
The upside down.
I found some armor in the depths in the upside down. That has like little glowing bulbs all over it, so I get like a radius of glow around me.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Where did you find it? Like, did you have to like just found it on the ground? Or
it was just in this like I don't know, this little area. It was like an underground like abandoned forge looking thing, and there was a couple little things in there, and that armor was one of the things I found, which is cool.
How do you think you're going to be playing this game? Just because you know Breath of the Wild, like how do you think you're going to be playing this game for a while? Because I do think that we'll have to revisit this game. It might not be a main episode for the show, but we might do we spent some time and really got...
I'm sure we'll catch up.
Talk about.
I mean, I'm going to be taking my time with this game. I'm not in any rush to like get through the story or anything. Like I said, I've played...
Right. I think a lot
you can see how much you've played on your Switch, and I've played... It says 15 hours or more for me, but I think I'm close to like the 20-hour mark. So I'm and like I said, I'm stayed in that central area. Yeah, I've gone up, I've gone to the sky and below as well, but like there's so much to do just in one little area. I'm trying to get all the shrines. I'm trying to, any close towers that I see, I go to. Anything that distracts me, I just go with it.
You get a real smack in the face if you wander around too far too, because like I found like the black or gray bokoblins or whatever, they just kill you.
Black mob.
I have like six hearts, and it's just like instant kill, just instant death.
I thought he was like a good guy or something because he didn't look like the other ones. I'm like, oh, he must be different. Hey, what's up? Like, is this a village or something like that? And he turned around,
dude,
whack, and you're dead.
That is one thing I noticed with this game is that even like the shitty bokoblins are much more difficult. Like every enemy is dangerous in this game. Like they'll one shot you or two shot you and you're done.
How do you get hearts in these games?
Shrines.
I really need to
you do shrines, you get the blessings, and then you pray at one of the statues in like a town or whatever.
Same thing as Breath of the Wild.
I've done like 20 shrines, I swear.
So yeah, you have a build up.
Go to Kakariko Village or whatever.
Yeah, go to Kakariko, and then
there's a shrine in there,
little statue.
I found a trial of combat kind of shrine last night, and I only had 4 hearts. So it takes away everything you have, and it gives you like a couple weapons. It says
I did that one too.
It says go ahead, do it, and I'm like. I try. It's like everybody's like on like device thing floating around. I was like, this looks really hard, and I tried, and I got my ass kicked because they're constantly shooting at you. I'm like, well, if I had more hearts, I might do better in this one.
Those are my least favorite shrines, is the combat trials. I'm like,
yeah, but I feel like they're gonna give you weapons and armor in those ones, right?
They're teaching you stuff in those.
Yeah,
one was teaching me how to throw items at things. The other one was teaching me how to attach things to my bow. Like it was, like the shrines are kind of necessary to learn how the world works around you.
I already know all that stuff. I don't need it.
It's not the same.
No.
Does the game tell you how many hours you've played in it?
If you go to your profile on the Switch, like not in the game itself, if you go to like your little icon up on the top left of your Switch home screen and you click into it, it'll show your like profile page and list out all your games and how long you've played. So it'll probably say like, for mine, it says 15 hours or more. So it's like 5-hour intervals. So once I get to 20 hours, past 20 hours, it'll say 20 hours.
Tell these people
more.
how long you played.
Why not just list out the exact amount of hours?
What's the fucking problem here?
Yeah.
Just doesn't even have to be, don't even have to include minutes. Just say this many hours. Like, fuck. It's not that tough.
Well, mine says Breath of the Wild, I've done 35 hours or more.
What do you got for Tears? Tears of the Kingdom probably doesn't say it because you haven't...
It just says first played 7 days ago.
So after 10 days, it shows you... After the first time you've played... 10 days after the first time you've played it, it'll show you your play time.
So dumb.
Which is also...
Give these people... Yeah!
I don't know why it does that, but whatever.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, it's great. I mean, I just booted it up as we were recording, and I'm looking at it, I just see like the world, and I just want to like...
There's so many things to do.
Like, and it hides its flaws
feels alive.
very well.
This is
What's that, Dave?
I don't know, alive. Like Skyrim feels more alive than like Zelda. Like Zelda, it's like everybody just walks their path and they have their like non-speaking text that they show at the bottom, and then
I say alive because
on your way.
I see constant movement. Like I see big ass floating cities and buildings and rocks falling or moving, and well, the other one I would see like giant creatures or dragons flying around. But this one I just feel there's more going up in the sky that's like shouting at me, like which is what I loved about.
I was gonna. This is probably
your attention deficit disorder
for someone that has ADHD. Not saying I do, but for anyone that does have ADHD, this is probably the worst game for you because the game is constantly pulling you in different directions.
Ooh, what's that?
Exactly. You look up in the sky. There's something falling. Oh, let's go up there. You fucking look out in the distance. There's a shrine. There's a hole in the ground. Should I go in there or not?
I know. Do you ever walk and like a mosquito or like a dragonfly walks by or something like that, and like it's just, do you want to catch it? And I'm like, oh, I didn't get it fast enough, and it drives me nuts. And like I chase after this this little thing that flew by me, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for you to. And like
it just fades out.
Wouldn't have wanted it if it didn't do it, but and it drives me crazy.
Did you guys? Did you get the camera yet?
I have the camera. You get the camera in the beginning of the game, and do you lose it or?
Yeah.
Do you need to use it?
You don't need to, but it fills out your like Hyrule compendium, so it's kind of like a Pokemon Snap.
I did that in the old game.
Like I I think you do get rewards from certain people if you fill it out. At least that's how it was in Breath of the Wild, so I'm assuming it's sort of similar to this. But I stopped doing that in Breath of the Wild, but now I'm just taking pictures of everything that I see. Because I
probably should.
It records because it not only if you take pictures of enemies, I think they give you like a little descriptor about them too, and maybe like some weaknesses as well. So there is some use to it, and I think like I'm assuming later on down the line you'll get rewarded if you have a certain amount of it filled out. But that's fun.
Oh my cool. How do you guys feel about the story? I mean, we've talked about like game.
I haven't engaged with the story at all.
Well, you've engaged with the story because we all went through the tutorial level. Like, how do you feel about that opening?
It's
sweet.
The
opening cinematic and setup and
shit they always do. Like, there's a reason for Zelda to be separated from Link. There's a reason for me to lose my powers and start all over again. If it's not amnesia, then it's like, it's that like that.
Link's got to rescue the princess. That's it.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's
the villain's scary though. I thought the villain was pretty cool.
The villain's cool looking. Yeah, I mean,
Breath of the Wild.
It's gonna be Ganondorf, but that's
Breath of the Wild. You're just waking up and kind of like wandering around. Like this one, you're kind of like you got like a mission.
Yeah,
I haven't really done any of the missions.
That's true,
yet, but
it is different than Breath of the Wild because I mean, at the get-go of Breath of the Wild, defeat Ganon is your main quest, and you can go do that anytime you want to. This one, it's more kind of traditional. Like, there's not one objective.
Yeah.
It is like
find Zelda. There's a
mystery.
Like, they don't know what happened. Like, something happened. You and the princess did something. Next thing you know, you're separated. Link, like, everybody like knows Link. And like, oh my God, you're back. But where's the princess? And the castle's floating in the sky. There's just like more mystery for everybody. And it's like, you kind of know what you got to do. But like, it's not like the last game was pretty fucking obvious. Like, go stop that guy. See, that's it. That's your goal. It's like Mordor. Like, there's Sauron. Go over there. But like, this game is just like, it's not as heavy-handed. It's kind of like the world's literally gone to shit, and like you can explore it, and like as you explore, you bring it back to order or something. I don't even know.
I do like that because everyone you talk to throughout the world's like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Like, these islands are rising in the sky. The castle's in the fucking air. Yeah. There's holes in the ground. People are getting sick. Like,
so your goal is not like in your face in this one. I think it's just like, we don't know what to do either, man. And like, I don't
see.
Right.
So it sounds like you guys are into the story.
I'm into the world building, but
the lore.
You're into the world, like you're not into like the main quest, but you're into it. Good. I thought it was like a smooth setup from beginning to like spitting you out into the world. It was like a good transition from the last game to set up the new story to spit you out and give you these powers. I thought it was a nice.
I really like
elegant
how
solution.
They did that. They did the Metroid fucking take away all your powers. They broke the Master Sword. They fucking
how dare they?
Which is pretty crazy. Like, I don't know if it's gonna come back, but
use your rewind power on it. Boom, done, fixed.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah. That I didn't even think of that. But yeah, it's cool, and I do like how they tutorialize it. Like, they give you a big area to start out with to learn the ropes, give you a couple shrines.
Is kind of linear,
which included snow, which included how
I think,
and then they give you fucking like, if you find them, like a tire.
It makes sense that it's
those. I think the pans are pretty easy to find. I thought they were right there.
Well, I mean, I found them, so they probably are easy. But yeah, I mean,
I don't even know. I don't know if I found them. I don't remember, to be honest.
You don't have warm pants?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Maybe I did. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember.
Got the warm pants. Yeah. That's one thing I've seen they're leaning into too. Is like the customization. Like, it seems like there's a lot more outfits and stuff. I've only found like one or two, but like they said that there's an entire town dedicated to like clothing or something fashion like that. And
I keep hearing about this like dye shop that in like Hateno Village or whatever people are talking about.
That was from the old one.
Yeah.
Right.
So like no, it's cool.
Well, what about you, Dave?
I do. Sorry, I was gonna say one more point. I do like how they give you little hints of things to do throughout this game. Like, they don't give you explicit instructions on what to do, but they do guide you without guiding you.
Like
you know what I mean?
sign guy?
They say,
I keep
in this
seeing
direction.
the sign guy. I better keep.
Oh, we didn't even
him.
talk about sign guy.
Sign guy. Those puzzles are awesome.
So
I love those.
yeah,
it's good.
They're so good.
But it's just like little dumb like distraction, like a 5-minute distraction.
Some of
like,
them are even shorter. They're like,
hold this sign up. You're
fuse
good.
those two tree trunks. Boom. Next. What do you got? Let's go. Give me my fucking my rice.
I love that he's so shocked every time you do it. He's like, what? It's standing up.
It's so Japanese though. Oh, this is unbelievable. You know, like the president would be so happy.
I love that though. It's charming.
Yeah.
Every time he is pretty pumped about it. And he's like, here, take this, and fucking take this, and take.
All right, one more thing.
Take some
this.
of this stuff over here. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you.
All right, yeah. $20 and a cheeseburger and some rice balls.
I forgot about the pony points too.
I
you guys been getting your pony points?
No, I'm just racking them up.
Gotta get those.
Gotta get those pony points. Gotta get those pony points.
The horses are annoying me in this game for some reason. They're like cumbersome and probably closer to like what it is to riding a real
I've
horse,
noticed
but...
that. If they're not,
like,
if you don't have a good connection, like, they won't do exactly what you want.
You gotta soothe
near
them.
an edge though. Yeah. I do soothe.
And then you gotta get off your horse. Then you gotta get off your horse and take out an apple and drop it on the ground, and they eat it, and then they love you even more.
Oh, I didn't know that, Eric. Thank you. I didn't know that.
Wait, do the horse's balls shrink when it goes up into colder weather?
That's Red Dead Redemption,
like in
too.
Red Dead?
No, I don't think
so. Or
so.
is it saying, okay, they don't have the horse technology.
I don't think they have horse testicles in
this game. Doesn't go that far. No, it's not.
But you can feed the horses.
Just knocked that down to a 9.5 now.
You can feed the horses, and did you know there's a dog at every stable? You can also feed the dogs, and they'll like follow you around, and I think they like dig up little treasures for you, like rupees for you.
That's good.
So
see, that's like the little kind of tiny stuff that's like just sprinkled in that you don't, if you could completely miss and not know it.
If you have a like a little bird, like I kill like the birds and get the raw bird leg. Just drop one of those on the ground in front of a dog. He'll eat it and then he'll love you and follow you around.
Oh, really? Do they fight for you?
No, they don't follow you really outside the stable, but they'll follow you like just around that area and dig up some stuff.
This could have happened in Breath of the Wild, but like it happened in this game. Last night I was like walking around this pond, and there was a bunch of trees. It was a storm, putting away all my like fucking armor and weapons and stuff.
Yeah, don't get zapped.
Executed. Yeah, and but there's like these deer everywhere and boars and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I was like, oh man, there's a big like deer. I wonder if I can like ride that one. So I start crouching. As soon as I start crouching, lightning strikes the thing, fucking blows the thing up, and leaves
the deer
cooked prime meat on the ground. It wasn't even raw; it was cooked prime meat. I was like,
"That's great."
Sweet. I was like, I didn't
shit.
Like the game just fucking nuked this deer for me
from orbit. Just fucking zapped it.
That's great. and I ate it, and I was like, oh wow, cool. And I ended up eating it later in a fight. But I thought that was really funny. But anyways, Dave, like, how do you think you'll be playing out this game? Because it's only been, a couple of weeks for us, really.
Yeah, I have a weird thing where I like to get the towers in all the areas before. I'm trying to like, work my way down towards some of the other villages and not fuck around with like the main story stuff and kind of like, training montage myself up. Make sure I get some towers, make sure I get some powers, get my hearts up before I go and start doing any of that stuff. So yeah, take my time. I'm in no rush. I just want to get some rocket Zonai devices. I want to find some of those things and shoot a little Korok dude off a cliff into the ocean or something like that.
Yeah.
What's the most weird thing you've made with your fusing or your Ultra Hand and the Zonai devices? Or maybe even not Zonai devices, but just fusing shit together.
I made a balloon thing yesterday. It was just like, because I don't have the big wheels and I don't have anything, so it was just like balloon and flame emitter, and then it just kind of like awkwardly raised us up a cliff, and then I just took the Korok and I threw him off the thing, and just he landed at the top, and I'm like, all right, I'm good, and then I just jumped off and reunited him with his buddy.
The heat in the balloons is fun. Like I've made like little ships, not ships, but like little. I'll make like a rectangle, and I'll get inside the rectangle. And I'll put my candles down or whatever, and then I'll put the balloons up on the sides.
Oh.
And then like,
how do you have candles? Sorry. What do you use for candles?
Well, one of them was in a shrine. I remember that.
Like the flame emitter things you're talking about?
But then there's other things with flame. Yeah, then you get like the bacon to blast like heat and all that stuff.
I thought you maybe had a candle that I didn't have, and I was like,
no, that one. Well, that was specifically in a shrine. I made that one. That was really cool because like that's what I was saying. How I was able to beat like half of the puzzle because I just made this thing that just like kept going up and up, and I didn't have to do anything. Yeah, I like anything like that using the heat. I don't know. I think that's just cool. Like, oh, there's like a heat mechanic. Like that's physics. That's great. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Something.
And the closer you get it, the faster. And like the more you have, the higher and faster it goes. So I was like, this is cool.
Something super simple that works really well in a pinch. Like if you're stuck, you want to get across a body of water. Take one of those flight things. The bird-looking things that you can fly on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Put one of those in the water. Just attach a fan to it.
Yeah.
And it's like a perfect boat.
Oh, okay. I thought about doing that, but I didn't know if it would work or not. I didn't know if
it's a perfect boat because you can steer it too by walking to either side and it tilts it. Yeah,
I love when I first did that. I was like, I put one down on these rails. And I'm like, what do I do now? And as they walk away, it just started sliding up and flew.
Zoomed off.
Like, oh, sweet. So I got on and I put a fan on it, and then when it started flying off, I was like, well, what do I do? And I started walking around, and I realized, OMG. Like, you can move around and steer those. What are they called? Those.
They're just like eagle.
Oh yeah,
eagle thing. Eagle's own eye devices.
I forgot what they're called. Yeah, the gliders.
Gliders.
But like, what a cool concept! It's so Nintendo approach to solving this. Just walk around it. Walk on the left side, it goes left. Go to the front, it pitches. And I was like, this is genius.
Dude, let me hit you with this. I found you can use a mine cart. Or I found a Zonai. There's a cart device, a Zonai cart device. Just a board, like a board with a couple wheels.
Oh, okay.
Attach it to a shield. Now you have a skateboard.
Oh,
it still breaks though.
You shield surf.
I was upset about.
It'll break, but you shield surf.
I was going down a mountain and
you
thing broke.
And you got a skateboard.
I'm kind of
cool.
I'm kind of like Dave. I'm just like exploring the shrines. I'm trying to just kind of hit all the beacon. I'm just trying to open up the world to see what I have, and then I'm really focusing on just collecting shit. I'm really just collecting ingredients. I'm just like, what's out there, and then after
you'll need it eventually. Somebody will ask for something.
Yeah,
like you always.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just.
It seems like you can get.
Well, I feel like I just want to say like I feel like each night, you need a couple hours to play this game to really get progress done, and you kind of have to have like a goal, like a state of mind, like. I'm going to do these. I'm going to do that. But like
you absolutely do. Yeah.
Tonight, I'm just going to focus on my inventory, which could be swapping out old weapons, cooking food, replacing, like maybe finding like a certain thing for like temperature or whatever. Like there's certain things you can wear, but just focusing on that. I think that's how I'm going to be approaching this game. I think
it's got that.
It's so
open
weird
the world
to me.
You need to have that attention to it. It's like going back and like it's not daunting to play, but like going back to play Elden Ring is daunting because I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to put in like 30 hours into like getting back up to speed and doing stuff. And like Zelda, like I may spend 2 hours or 3 hours a night, and I did a shrine and did a couple other things. I went to a town and like that's it. It doesn't feel like you did a lot, but then when you start stacking all those like encounters that you have on top of each other, like you're doing a fucking lot of stuff.
Have you been down?
That's what it is
the
for me,
yet, Dave. Oh no, you have. Yeah, because like that alone could just be like, I'm just gonna unlock a bunch of that.
Explore the depths. Yeah, that's what it is for me. Hey, like if you're playing for, like you said, an hour or something, you might not feel like you accomplished a lot, but like, hey, I did like 3 shrines, and like.
3 shrines in an hour would be impressive.
It's
satisfying.
You got some rupees, maybe a new weapon.
You're constantly collecting shit. You're making new weapons. Finding rare like if you find like a rare monster part, you can make a really powerful weapon. Like some of those big boss bokoblins just have a battle axe on their head as a horn.
Yeah,
that you can use it.
Yeah,
to make a sweet weapon. But
I feel like you can travel quicker in this game too, because really all you need to do is see one of those rocks come down from the sky, And even if it goes up to nothing, you just jump off of it and coast. Glide. And you can just fly for as far as you fucking want.
I think you
can get from edge to edge pretty quick.
I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say that you can get a glider outfit. I could have sworn I saw. Okay, I thought I saw something like that on social, but like that would be sweet. Like I don't know how far.
Like a wingsuit.
Like a wingsuit. Yeah. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's like end game or what, but like I was like, that alone, I feel like if you had that, you know, then like Dave, you will just recall your
just gliding across
and then just zip around. You really could. Yeah, the transportation is pretty nice. Transportation, but
some of the spots on the map, like I went to like the Forest of Time and I walked around and there's just fucking nothing there. And I'm like, well, this is kind of a fucking beat. Or you run across a field and there's nothing for a little while. Like there are, like the game is not perfect. There are empty swaths of, you know, map.
I thought that was the last game.
May have a puzzle below it, may have a puzzle above it, and it just like, you're like, I'm just running through a fucking field, just like get me to something cool. But really what you should be doing is probably like, you know, you should be riding a horse or like
just
traveling
build a fucking crazy contraption to get yourself in the air.
Yeah.
I don't have a control stick. Like I can't control anything yet. I can't.
Yeah, I've found a couple of them out in the wild, but
wheels and shit.
Yeah, I don't have any of the capsules, but I found a couple of them.
There's just so much to do here. I have one direction I want to send you guys. Like, is that okay?
Yeah.
Try heading back to where Breath of the Wild starts.
Okay.
I was in plateau.
That's just. I went back there and like that because was that place floating in Breath of the Wild?
No, it was just the Great Plateau. It was just like a plateau.
Yeah.
You know,
it's still great. It's still a plateau, but you know, I always like to go back and see because I went back. I'm like, oh, the fucking Temple of Time. I wonder if it's still there. And I went back and it's still there. But no, there's some cool things that happen up there. I don't know. Or you can go back to this place where you were resurrected, or you know, any of those things. But then, I don't know. I found that led me to stuff in other places, and it kind of sent me on a whole wild goose chase. And it's I don't know. It feels like that's like the best part of the game. Like I forget what Shigeru Miyamoto said. Like he had like the feeling of like being a child and exploring like the woods behind your house or something like that, and like the feeling of exploration and all that kind of stuff. And like that kind of, it's a good summary of what, I don't know, like the main pull of the gameplay is that exploration and what's over the next hill kind of.
It's exactly why I loved Breath of the Wild, and that's exactly why I love this game. Just taking me where it goes.
I liken these games to being like Portal and Portal 2. Like you have the first one, which was really good at what it did.
Yeah,
and then the second one is just like balls to the wall. It's like everything that you liked about the first one, even better. Like, yes, that wonder moment is kind of like what makes the first one like really good. Same with Breath of the Wild, but like we could just turn it up a notch, you know, adding like a 3-layer world, you know, the powers are just like easier to use. They're more fun. There's more puzzles. I think the world is more optimized. Like I said, I feel like I have weapons all over now. I feel like there's more variety. I don't feel like there's like big boring things I got to walk around anymore. I feel like there's always something just right there. I think this map is way better than Breath of the Wild. Everything about this game I think is just like this I can get behind. Like the other one I think it's good.
Dude, you said this one. You said fun. I think that's the key word. Like, I think they really. I mean, Nintendo always takes this to heart.
Yes.
They think about what would be fun. They think about what would be. They think about the fun first, and then the rest later. What would be fun?
Right.
Fucking fusing two weapons together. Yes,
with the controls,
that would be fun.
But
in this
rewinding, they're problem solving what was wrong with some of the first game, and they're building upon it.
It's not necessarily what was wrong. It's just that they learned. You know,
they fixed a lot of stuff between like. Now you can't just control metal things. You can control everything, and then you can stick them together, and then you know.
I mean, some developers are afraid to give the player that amount of agency and freedom, but clearly they are not.
Surprisingly, you can't like the game doesn't like completely glitch out and fucking break when, when you're doing all this
with all these
shit.
physics systems interacting with each other. fucking we see open world games all the time with weird physics glitches, people, ragdolling, clipping through shit. Like, you don't
How old
really
is the engine,
see...
though? Is that what you were saying?
I mean, yeah, it's okay. The technical issues about,
Maybe that's why.
What, they've worked out all the kinks, you're saying?
Or that it's so old that it doesn't take a lot of processing power to do the physics of actual everything.
Well, I don't think that's it. I think Nintendo just polishes the shit out of their games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've seen any bugs in this game.
I have not experienced anything weird. Not even
nobody glitching through a wall. Nobody
nothing.
Fucking nothing like
I
breaking.
Can't complain at all about this game. Like it's
sure the frame rate is rough in some places, but that's literally the only technical flaw I've seen.
The Switch is
it's handicapped by the hardware, and that's it.
Yes,
but technically it's pretty incredible that they pulled this game off.
Yeah.
And it's in, I'm glad that they delayed it until it was ready to come out, because it clearly shows.
I was intimidated.
The work that they put into this game.
I thought it was gonna be obnoxious. I thought I was like, man, I'm starting to finally understand like Breath of the Wild, and I'm not gonna like Tears of the Kingdom. It's just gonna be like this and that, and like it did the opposite. It made everything that just the little quality of life things were just enough. They're just everywhere in this game. And like, it won me over, man.
Warms my heart to hear you say that.
I mean, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think I think it's an incredible game. I think,
especially
it's really
since you said before, like you'll spend some time fucking cooking shit and collecting stuff.
It's
like,
I don't know. I like it.
You're not a like survival crafting dude at all. Right. In your games,
because there's so much food, and I don't know.
It's on the side, like you can ignore it if you want. Yeah. I mean,
but there's rewards and benefits for you to interact with those systems too. So
come play some Valheim then.
No.
No.
All right.
I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah, there's
that's enough. Let's go
so
back
much more to talk about. There will be so much more to talk about too.
Yeah, I was gonna say have a spoiler episode in a little bit where we just kind of talk about dumb shit that we've done.
I would like to revisit it, even if it's like for a 30-minute side episode, just to kind of like revisiting Tears of the Kingdom. I think that'd be fun. Maybe we can get somebody as a guest for that one, or maybe if somebody's listening to this and they want to write in, go for it. But yeah, we'll definitely come back to this game.
I mean, I'm going to be playing it. That's all I'm going to be playing. Like, until, like, I don't know, Starfield comes out or something.
Right.
Crazy like that. But
yeah,
like, this game is, like, going to be even... I mean, I'll obviously be playing some stuff on the side, but this will be, like, my,
It's a good summer.
I want to, I want to play something.
Dip your toes in.
Want to play something? I'm going to pick up the Switch and play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
Bow show.
Well, good job, Nintendo. Well done to everybody that worked on this one. You even got me saying it's a great game.
Yeah, Brandon.
Finally got me.
We should. All right, let's tell him. Let's email Fubayashi, the director, and be like, "We got Brandon. He finally likes it."
Yeah. Well, that was fun. So let's. I don't know. What are we doing? Paraglide. Well, paraglide to Act 3. Yeah, paraglide would be fun. It's on theme with this game. And then
good transition.
Yeah, and when we do land, we're gonna be playing a round of video game 20 questions.
Oh,
what do you think I was gonna do? Like a Zelda? I don't know enough Zelda to do.
I was gonna wait. I was waiting for Zelda trivia.
Zelda quiz. Yeah.
No, this is not. If Eric was
Link's father.
Yeah, right.
Who was Link's father?
What's Link's last name? Oh, real quick though, before we do leave, my kids are like watching me playing this game, and they're like, they thought I was playing Zelda, and they're like, "Well, why is it called The Legend of Zelda?" And I go, "Son,
don't get me started.
Don't." When it comes to names for Nintendo games, just don't pay attention. The Mario Brothers makes no sense. It's being called The Legend of Zelda makes no sense. It just sounds cool. And that's it.
It's a legend about Zelda.
But Ed, you only play as Link. They were blown away that you're Link.
She talks, so they named the game after her. Link is just the side character. Link is just he's the what is he? He's the sidekick.
The game should be called The Adventures of Link, let's be honest, but
they tried that already.
That was the best Zelda game.
Because Legend of Zelda sounds cool.
It was it's an underrated Nintendo game, let's be honest.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's pretty fun. It's fine. All right. Anywho, all right. We'll be right back. We have a return. We're safely on ground. Don't fall off because we're pretty high up right now. But admire the clouds. They're beautiful up here.
I'm pretty high.
Have some golden apples while you guys are here. Some sundelions, whatever they are. And get baked if you need to. Yeah, and relax. Let's play a round of video game 20 questions.
20 Qs.
Let's do it.
All right. We all know the rules of 20 questions. They ask questions, but all they can say is yes or no. And they only get one shot at guessing what the game is. Okay.
All right.
Ready, set, go.
Was this game released after the year 2000?
No.
No, it was not. Oh.
So it released after the year 1990.
Yes.
All right, 90s jam. Or
Sweet.
2000, technically. It could have come out in the year 2000. But yeah, so 90s game generally. Did this come out? Was this a platform exclusive when it released?
Yes.
Was it a Nintendo platform?
No.
Sony?
No.
Oh shit! All right.
Whoa,
I mean, it could have been.
Slow down.
I know.
Xbox isn't out yet.
We gotta.
Xbox isn't out.
It's
until
not Xbox.
2000s. Who is this fucking?
Could be Sega, like Dreamcast.
Sega Dreamcast.
I mean, it could be PC technically, if we're counting that.
This a? Well, I want to say 3D or sprites based. It's the easiest way to ask that, I guess. Is this game 3D?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
Okay.
it's an exclusive for. I mean, should we narrow down the Sega? I mean, we're here.
I mean,
I don't know what else there is.
I mean, there's like PC, yeah, Sega, arcade. I don't know if that would count. I mean, I did say console exclusive, so I don't know. That would be kind of.
You said platform exclusive.
I did say platform exclusive, so it could
Technically, arcade is a
technically
platform.
be arcade. Yeah.
So it's not 3D though. Nail down the system.
I feel like we gotta.
Was you Sega or I mean, because Genesis is out in this time period as well, so it could be.
Yeah, Genesis, Dreamcast, one of those.
Is this
at this point?
If it's not 3D though, I want to say it's got to be Genesis.
Most likely.
Is this game a Sega Genesis game?
Just say Sega. Just I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
All right, yeah, we'll go Sega. Sure. Is this a Sega game?
Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, probably more likely the Genesis, since
See,
early days of like the Dreamcast were all about 3D.
yeah. Sega does with Nintendo,
and I can't really think of any 2D games on Dreamcast.
No, that's why the 3D kind of knocked that out. Does this game include a blue hedgehog?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
No. Okay. All right. That eliminates Sonic games. All right. That's good.
I figured Brandon might be just trying to sneak that one in because we know he hates Sonic. He's an anti-Sonic person.
I don't hate Sonic.
He hates.
I just don't think it's as good as like Mario Brothers or anything that's like renowned. Like I think those games are like the first level's good, got some good tunes, but like Sonic levels are not as good as
this platforming's all just too floaty.
It's about speed, and then they just add more shit, and it kills like the momentum. I don't know. I think those games are messy. Anywho.
It's a toughie. I'm not.
We could start narrowing down
huge on the Genesis.
The genre. We could start looking at brawlers, platformers, side scrollers.
Yeah. Are you I don't know, killing things in this game?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Could be Golden Axe. It could be Streets of Rage, or any of those guys.
So
I don't know what
so
other
you're killing things.
It's not 3D.
Are you?
Is this a brawler game?
No.
Okay, well, it knocks out all of those.
I mean, a lot of games back then, like the mechanics. What defines a brawler? I guess
you're walking from left to right, punching.
Okay, so that's very specific. Then
like a side scroller beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Right. Then like okay, yes, like Streets of Rage and stuff. Yeah.
No, it's not that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That
not
type
that.
of gameplay. Yeah.
All
right. Is this
what else was a Genesis exclusive back then? Like Earthworm Jim.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like Golden Axe, like you said.
Cruis'n USA.
I don't know many Genesis games.
I was not a Genesis kid either. I know the essentials.
The big ones, yeah.
I don't think it would be a driving game. Puzzle games, I don't know.
I mean, you're killing stuff, he said.
Oh, that's true.
So it eliminates that stuff.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Right.
So it's most likely like a, action. Some sort of,
Are there any fighting games that are exclusive on the...
There's
I want to correct something because...
Oh god, here we go.
When you say they're not like it's not killing technically. It's not killing, but like you are attacking.
You're attacking and defeating enemies.
Yeah, so it's but like technically I don't think they're killing. So I just want you to
There's no blood or anything. So, like, not like Splatterhouse or something.
Not Mortal Kombat.
Crazy like that.
I think blood is involved, and then they're dead. Yes. Yeah, there's killing involved.
It's like
I realized the way I answered it, I was like, that's kind of misleading, so I want to clarify that.
Could be like
10 questions?
I was going to say like one of those space shooter games that kind of scrolled, like a R-Type or a... Gradius or something like that. Those are exclusive to that, but I don't.
Right? Did they? I don't know. I'm trying to think of any like arcade ports
that made it over there.
That would be exclusive to Genesis. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was thinking like Rampage or.
And would that count as a platform exclusive if it was an arcade port?
No, probably
I don't
not.
know.
Is that your question?
Nope.
No.
Try and sucker us in there. Get out of here. Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
hold on. I'm trying to think of side scrollers. So I'm thinking like the main Genesis game that I think of when I think of Genesis is Altered Beast.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because you do kind of kill things in that. They kind of like explode into giblets and go off.
Giblets.
That was also I mean, was it an arcade game first? I know there was an arcade cabinet.
I've definitely played the arcade game. I remember Rise from Your Grave.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's your grave.
Very loud.
Yeah, that was all over.
So it could be, yeah, it definitely could be Altered Beast. Again, I don't know if like platform exclusive, if that, if it's an arcade port, is it technically? I mean, I guess it is if we're just talking about consoles, but
should we ask if it's multiplayer?
Yeah,
that could narrow.
That's a good question.
All right, multiplayer, yeah. Brandon.
Yes. Yeah, it's multiplayer. You can play with your friends.
Which Altered Beast was
multiplayer,
right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That is correct.
Altered Beast sounds pretty good. Are you technically killing things in that game? Because aren't you defeating like undead things? So like they're already dead.
Technically. Well, what are we at? 1, 2. That was 11 questions. This is question number 12. So we still got some. Right. We got some wiggle room.
Yeah, you got some wiggle room. You could throw some Hail Marys.
I mean, should we just narrow it out?
Yeah.
Or eliminate it?
Do you turn from a human to an animal in this game?
To an altered beast?
Do I alter to a beast in this game? The answer to your question, Dave, is no.
Oh.
There's
no altering of the beast.
Damn it. No altering of the beast.
All right.
It could still be Golden Axe.
We said it's not a brawler game or a...
Golden Axe isn't technically... It's not a side-scrolling brawler.
Sure it is.
It's like... No, it's not side-scrolling. It's like top-down, isn't it?
It's like a
or is
Double
it left
Dragon.
Oh, yeah, it's like... yeah, that's right. What game am I thinking of? Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I guess Golden Axe, yeah. Now that you mention that.
Not like...
Making you guys... like think about an era, a very specific era. You're just like, what games existed on
it
that
is
console?
Tough. Because
I don't know,
maybe I don't know if we've both played this game. That's a good question.
What's that?
Oh, whatever this game is.
Played it before?
Yeah, I can't help you answer
Brandon
that
I was gonna say Brandon might not even know that.
Oh, I'm looking through your thoughts and memories, and yes, I can see you've played this game at one point. No,
yeah.
Can't tell.
Genesis is like the one blind spot in that era because I think I had one, but we only had Sonic, so I don't really know too many.
It's like
Genesis
your garage
games.
sale find. You get it, and you get that one game. That's all you get.
Right. You got to look back at those like vintage collections that Xbox has from Genesis.
Right.
All right, next question.
Could it be a fighting game? I don't know fighting games that came out on there.
I also feel like he wouldn't say you're killing things if it was a fighting game. Like a one-on-one fighting game, I wouldn't say that you're killing things.
I mean, no, technically not.
I mean, it's called a KO. You're knocking them out.
Unless you're in Mortal Kombat, but yes.
Unless you're in Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Genesis. Well, we didn't technically
I mean, technically, we narrowed it down, but we don't
technically
know 100%.
say it was Genesis. We could still be talking Sega Dreamcast.
It could be, but like what?
What pixel games are you gonna find
What
on there?
2D game? Yeah, what 2D game where you're killing stuff? Are you? I mean, we don't even technically know the nature of things. Like, you could be in a ship. We don't even know if you're a human.
Great questions. Start asking them.
I don't know what ship games you would have back then either, but yeah.
God, I'm trying to. I don't know. Rack my brain. Do you play as a human in this game?
Yes, that's what I was gonna. Or
no.
So, I don't know. You probably can't answer this, but does being a ship in a game count? Because like technically, maybe a human is piloting that ship.
I would say if a human is piloting some kind of vehicle, I think that would still stand true. Like, it's because that's what's piloting it. Like, if you're an airplane, the human's flying an airplane, not a dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, for something like Galaga, are you the ship, or are you the thing inside the ship?
I am.
You're
my
the thing
name
inside
is
the ship.
Doug Galaga.
But you don't know. You don't know what's in the ship though.
Those games
So
have a
in that
backstory in the
instance-
cartridge.
Yeah.
Probably just some human
I wouldn't
space
dig
pilot.
into it that far.
Captain Douglas Galaga. That's
Like,
that's
for
what
something
it's
like
named after.
Galaga, I would say like you are the ship. But the human question's weird.
So we're not a human.
Maybe I'm thinking too hard about it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, for this video game, you are not a human being.
Not a human. Not a human being.
Take it for what you
like
will.
fucking like you said, Earthworm Jim. You're an earthworm. Trying to think of other like mascot. Did Gex was Gex on Sega first?
Spot, the 7-Up game.
I'm talking about Gex, the
I
gecko.
don't know Gex the gecko.
You don't know Gex?
Oh,
I remember Gex.
Sounds pretty lame.
It was.
He wore sunglasses at night.
He was cool. All right.
And he did jokes while he moved.
Yeah. So yeah, Earthworm Jim is probably.
We could ask if it's a side scroller.
Yeah, it's a side scroller platformer.
No.
What?
Oh, okay.
Damn.
That knocks it all.
All right. Well, that eliminates.
Like, is there any puzzle games on Genesis that would be?
Where you're killing stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Puzzle Fighter.
I was gonna say Puzzle Fighter, but was that on Genesis?
I don't know. I don't think so. That might be early PlayStation /
Let me give you a tip. I really thought you guys would have got this by now. Like, I thought you would get this in the way you started. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna get this in like 8 questions.
I'm trying to think of the heavy hitters, but everything's coming up blank.
Strider, like that one's not a Genesis game, or that one is a side scroller, right? So that's not gonna be in here.
Mm-hmm. Not a side scroller, but it's 2D.
It's not Marble Madness, because that wasn't a Sega exclusive. That was on Genesis. They had a good version on Genesis, actually.
It makes me think it's like a fucking chip
something
game or something
stupid that we're overlooking that we
Ask your question.
That we should be thinking of, but we're not thinking of. It's like that name 5 things in 10 seconds game where you brain kind of shits its pants.
I'm just gonna eliminate all. Are you shooting things in a ship?
No.
Okay. All right. Get that out of the way.
I'll help you out. You're not a ship at all.
12, 13,
You're neither
14,
human nor ship.
So probably an animal or something. Alien.
It's not 3D, so it's not Seaman or whatever his name is. Seaman.
No, it's not a Seaman.
Seaman.
Seaman, yeah. No, I was gonna say Booger Man, but that's a platformer, and he
and
is Booger Man a human?
It's a side scroller. Yes, I believe so. He's flicking.
He's a booger, isn't he?
No, he's flicking his boogers at things.
Oh, okay. Booger Man. Only the 90s where they had a game fucking called Booger Man. Jesus.
What are like the tent poles for Genesis other than Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Golden Axe, like tent poles. Like what kept
like
Sega
the only
afloat?
fucking thing I can think of is Sonic.
Ask another question to help you figure it out.
Well, it's not Sonic. You already eliminated that.
Shit. I got the arcade machine going behind me.
I know. I just want to grab my Switch and look at like the Genesis Nintendo Online.
Is Genesis on Nintendo Online?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know if I knew that one.
I haven't touched the library, which probably would have helped me here.
I was gonna say maybe you should now.
Maybe I should.
Well, I'm running low on ideas.
How many questions have we got?
That was 15. We have...
Yeah, you guys got some questions.
We have 4 left.
Do you play as an animal in this game?
No.
What the fuck are you then? A ball? Is it Uniracer or some shit?
No. Not an animal. That's why I'm thinking like puzzle games or...
Like a strategy game? You know? There's no fucking
early.
RTSs on Genesis.
Like, was SimCity out that early? No. It's like SimCity.
No, and SimCity was on one of the Nintendo consoles. Might have even been NES. The original. Fuck.
Yeah, sorry. This isn't more interesting. I think Brandon's been a little jilted by us solving some of his early ones quickly, so now he's just starting to like the last one with the Ewok adventure, and now this one.
He said he thought we would get this one, so it can't be like some obscure thing.
I want to say that this is actually from my wife too. I asked her for the movie.
No, we're asking her. She's
Ewok, and then
she doesn't play nice.
No, and then I said like I want to do video.
Yeah, she's the one that gave us the fucking Ewok adventure bullshit.
And she, I think she's the one that called this one out, and I was like, "Yep."
It's a deep cut.
Fuck.
Deep cut from the lady.
I don't know. She thought it'd be easy.
It must not be that deep.
No, which is the troubling thing. We still don't have a genre.
No, we don't have a genre.
Could it be like Space Harrier or like one? I guess that was an arcade game too, but
it's not. Yeah, you're not a ship.
I was gonna say you're not a ship, so it's not like Top Gun or.
You're not a ship. You're not a human. You're not an animal. What the fuck are you?
Person, a place, or a thing? Are you Spot? You're not Spot because it's not a side scroller, so it's not that dumb 7-Up game.
Is it? No. I guess no.
Why is it? It's dumb 7-Up game.
It rules out.
It is multiplayer. I'm forgetting that.
Rules out sports because you play as humans in sports.
I'm just trying. What multiplayer games were big back in the day? Yeah, like fighting games are like the only thing I can think of.
It was like
fucking
the dinosaur fighting game,
fighting games,
Primal
and
Rage.
Brawlers.
Well, you're not playing as a human, so it's not like a NBA Jam.
Yeah, Primal Rage is a good. Or is Primal Rage? Are you animals in Primal Rage?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs. So that would count as an animal.
Brandon,
right?
Are dinosaurs considered animals?
That doesn't count as a question.
No, it doesn't.
Animals are anything that's not human on this. Well,
anything that's not human is an animal.
It's not Primal Rage.
Animal. Yeah, what defines an animal?
What about like a Lemmings?
What defines an animal? We're getting into the deep questions here.
Well, is like the flu
What
an
is
animal?
life?
No, it's a virus. But like,
it's an organism.
Right, but humans are an organism. But like, yeah, I don't know what.
Well, technically, humans are animals, so it's a
I guess we are animals.
Just a complex, multi-celled organism.
Sure.
True. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like, there's a Jurassic Park game on Genesis, but you're technically playing as a human there.
Is it a fighting game?
No.
Fuck. What the fuck is it?
I really thought you guys would have got this soon.
Racing game? Is it?
It's not a racing game because you're not in a ship or a car. A car's in a ship.
And like, the only thing I can think of is where you're killing stuff or defeating stuff is like Road Rage or something.
Road Rash.
Road Rash, yeah. But you're
a
human.
You're lizard men in those bikes.
And like, fucking, what the fuck?
It's not like a Smash TV because you're playing as a human.
How many questions you got? How many you got?
That was 17. We're on 18 now.
All right, come on, guys.
It's multi. What other multiplayer games are there besides fucking fighting games and brawlers and?
Well, it's not a sport game because you don't play as a human.
It can't be a sports game unless it's fucking like something stupid like Mutant League football or some bullshit like that. But
I think Brand's wife's suggesting Mutant League football, though. That's the thing.
Her father was the lead developer on that game, actually. So
I have no idea when that game even came out. Multiplayer
racing.
That's what's tripping me up.
Like ships. Are we considering cars ships? I guess is it a racing game?
That's what I was thinking, but I can't think of any racing games where you're fucking, I don't know,
killing stuff.
Is it I'm just gonna take a swing. Is it a licensed game?
No.
What the fuck?
All right, Dave, you have not asked a question in a while. What are you doing over there?
I'm struggling. That's what I'm doing.
Eric has burned through like 5 questions.
I'm writing down these lists.
I'm just taking wild swings.
Right. I mean, yeah, I know Dave ain't asking any.
Is this... I mean, we got one question left.
You guys didn't do any of the big generic questions that you would ask for any other game.
I think we're just stuck because we don't know Genesis games.
Is it a franchise? Is it still going on? Blah, blah, blah.
If it was, I don't know what it would be. Like, even if I had the answers to those questions, I don't think it would help me.
Is this I want to say ask if it's a driving game. Like, it's too early for Twisted Metal.
I feel like we're just completely going off in an opposite direction.
And you're not playing.
Where are you taking me, Dave? Turn around.
Not in the
way home.
Wait, no. I was gonna say Spy Hunter, but that was like
Spy Hunter's on
an arcade port on like NES. Yeah,
Spy Hunter's an underrated.
It's not
classic.
a platform exclusive. Fucking a Sega platform exclusive that's multiplayer. That came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's not a platformer. That's not a fighting game. It's not a brawler.
It's not humans. It's not animals. It's not spaceships.
Right.
Well, no.
It's a puzzle game.
Wait. Oh. No.
Wheels are
like
turning.
Defeating stuff. I was thinking like Puyo Puyo or something like that. But
something. Yeah, you think my wife played that?
I don't fucking know. It had to be a popular game. I know your wife's not a huge gamer, but if she knows this, it must be a pretty popular game.
Yeah, it was known for sure. I mean, it was definitely known. There's another hint for you.
That's what I had assumed this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. My main
chat.
All right,
chat, help us out.
My main.
We've had one person watching the whole time.
All right. Well,
so someone's watching.
Maybe they can send something in. Otherwise, ask a question. Let's wrap this up. What do you got?
Yeah, let's just end it.
What else we got? I don't know. Is it a sports game?
No, it's
sports
game.
includes
it's not a
sports includes including racing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's not a fucking sports or racing,
Is
but yes, that's as best as I got.
All right, no,
I didn't think so.
No,
I didn't.
What is your guess? Sega exclusive multiplayer.
I feel like we have all the pieces, but
2D graphics.
Not sports, not racing.
I feel like we're gonna feel dumb.
Yeah, it's not Altered Beast.
Yeah. Will I feel dumb after I hear the answer to this?
I feel like you guys will be like, oh yeah, totally forgot about that. You clearly are missing out on something that was like I mean, Eric, I can give you you have an excuse as to maybe not getting this because you weren't around when this game came out, but Dave and I were. Dave should have got this, I would say. Dave, how dare you? How could you?
I don't know. Is it
just couldn't get there?
Is it
not a Sega?
Not a brawler.
Sega boy.
I wasn't a
Sega boy. Just name a Sega exclusive that is not Sonic the Hedgehog. You have a chance of getting this.
Final Fight. I don't know. That's a brawler.
I don't know.
That's a brawler. I don't know.
That's a brawler.
So then don't say
your wife's not gonna come up with that name.
Like Rampage was that?
No, that was on Super Nintendo.
No.
Come on, Dave. Nintendo. What do you got? Come on. You saw the Sega commercials. You saw the articles. You saw the magazines. Like, yeah, someday I'm gonna play that game.
It was all fucking Sonic. That's all it was.
That's all you can think of. All right.
Space Harrier.
So nothing.
Just
have we mentioned this game at all today?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Then no.
I'm done.
Lay it on us.
I quit.
The game was from 1991. It was developed by Johnson Versanger Studios.
What the fuck is that?
And the game was Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that a side scroller?
That's not a side-scrolling platformer.
No, it's like not the way you guys were like the way you were saying, like hopping around and all that stuff. It's not like a 2D. It's like
I don't really remember
above
that game
thing,
either.
and you go around. I don't know if you ever played it.
I was gonna say I've heard of it.
I've
I
never
mean, but I don't
played
think
it.
I
You
played
throw
it. Like obviously I know about it.
You're two aliens and you land and you're trying to put your ship together and you have to like do like these levels and you throw tomatoes to knock things out.
Oh, it is like a top-down.
It was called a roguelike, an early roguelike. And they made
Earl.
3 of them or something like that.
Son of a...
And I saw in Wikipedia that there's talks as of last year of making a movie based on Toe Jam.
Oh God!
And
Pretty
Wikipedia
sure they just
also says
released like a new game.
It was such a big hit when it came out that they regarded them as the second mascot after Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I kind of do feel a little dumb for not knowing that, but at the same time, I never played a Toe Jam and Earl game, so
I never played.
Yeah.
Like I should have known it, but like I obviously know the game, but I don't know what type of game or what it even looks like.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Like I know the cover. I know the cover, the characters, the name.
Yep.
But I don't even know.
When you were going down the Booger
the
Man and the Earthworm Jim like route, I was like, they're gonna get it because like those are like
goofy
looking humanoid.
Those are the ones that I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Touche.
So there you go.
Sorry that took so long.
I don't
sure
know.
There's probably
like, what? It's fucking Toe Jam.
I guarantee you. There's listeners out there that were screaming at us.
What was cool about that game was the fact that it looked pretty cool at the time, but it was multiplayer at the same time. That was just always hard to pull off. You didn't see a lot of games doing that. I mean, there were games, but like it just wasn't done that well, and that was a big deal. And the screen would kind of come together and split. I don't know. It was a cool game.
Cool.
Good. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Let's wrap this puppy up.
Yeah.
That was a long one.
That's because you guys going through like the entire catalog of video games in the 90s.
My God.
Well, if you did, just like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you logged in a long time on this adventure. So we appreciate you for getting to the end of this one. We truly thank you for listening to this. Please go have fun with the video games you play. Talk if you really like them. Talk to people. Let them know about it. And if you really like it and you want us to talk about it, then let us know. You can get a hold of us, and I'll let Eric actually take over on all that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get at us, you can go to Twitter and Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy. You can join our Discord, nomadsoffantasy.com/discord, to talk to us directly there. You can even email us, nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com, with all your questions, comments, suggestions, all that good stuff. You can play our game, whatmapgame.com. If you like guessing video game maps, you can go to our merch store. You can go to nomadsfantasy.com, click on that store link, buy some Nomads merch. Yeah, I think that's about it. Go to youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy if you want to watch or see our beautiful faces while we're talking about this stuff and how dull and confused we were not knowing what this game was. But I think that's all I got for you. You guys got anything else?
Utini.
Nope. Utini. All right. And I don't know. There's no slogan for Zelda. Have fun out there in Hyrule. And safe travels, Nomads.
Safe travels, Nomads.